Compass is Jeep's affordable off-roader, and let's see what it's all about. I'll include a link to the Doug Smith Rams website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. If you have any questions on this, by the way, just ask for Brad. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbo 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy is 23 around town, 31 on the highway, with power outputs being 200 horsepower and then 221 pound-feet of torque. We're closing in on 500,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Got the giant Trailhawk decal here on the hood. Make sure you get these nice LED lights. You can see a satin finish on the grille. There's fog lights down below, recovery points, and a more aggressive front end for a better approach angle. So far, it definitely actually has some off-road chops. Definitely has the looks though. 215 by 65 by 17 is the tire and wheel setup, and you've got real all-terrain tires on this. And then you can see you've got silver with black on the wheel, a little Jeep there in the center. Got these chunky fender flares. You can see the Compass badge there, and yes, we have a trail rated badge too. And then here is the side profile. You've got the two-tone design with the blacked out roof. And then when it comes to key fob features, we've got our lock and unlock, opening for the hatch, you got your remote start, you got the Jeep logo on the back too. That's the button to open and close the hatch. And then we do have this for the cargo load floor. You can see the all-terrain tire underneath. Looks like it's a steel wheel though, interesting. So kind of have a full-size spare in a way. But yeah, the rest of the rear, I mean, again, it's a smaller car, but it's decent with the space. Pretty nifty looking taillight design here. And then we do have a recovery point out back, some parking sensors. That will cap things off for the exterior. This week's giveaway makes my Jeep look lame because it is a supercharged Rubicon 392 that is fully decked out, producing 650 horsepower. Now, not only can you win this Rubicon 392, but part of the giveaway is also $26,000 in cash to help pay for the taxes. And not only that, your donations go towards helping children's and veterans charities. So use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. Any donation, $25 or more, will give you 4x bonus entries. Let's now check out the interior. More of that red stitching. You got soft touch in the door panel too. The seats are interesting with their kind of contrast of materials. We got like cloth inserts in the center. But either way, legroom here in the back is good. We've got some vents here in the rear, USB ports. There's also a little outlet at the very bottom. And then headroom is surprisingly good back here. Keyless entry for up front, and let's check it out. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. You actually have soft touch at the top of the door panel. You can see there's more stitching and soft touch down below. And the front two windows are actually automatic. Trailhawk there on the front seat. Cloth trim down the center. The driver's seat is power adjustable with lumbar support. The passenger seat's manual with the adjustments. Light controls to the left of the steering wheel. This does have the fog light control built into that too. Soft touch all around the steering wheel. You've got red stitching on the center. Radio controls on the back. On the front face, we've got adaptive cruise control. You've got regular cruise control too. Controls for the center stack as well. Partially analog, partially digital gauge cluster. And this is kind of how I think the car industry should just stay at for a while, at least. But yeah, you can still customize the information that's displayed, and then you just have those nice analog gauges that I think they age better over time. Backup camera in reverse, pretty good resolution with the system. As for the rest of the infotainment system, we do have a shortcut bar here at the bottom. And it is relatively quick to respond. It does take a second for stuff to actually change. But you'll see your dual zone climate controls built into here too, and then you can also adjust the seats. It has heated seats and heated steering wheel. Physical controls below that for stuff like your auto stop, start, stability, lane departure, parking sensors too. Physical controls for the radio and the climate below that. And then right next to that in the dash, you've got more of that nice stitching. And then even at the top, it's soft touch. Some storage down below. We also have some USB ports. Shifter there for the 8-speed. Right next to it, we got our parking brake. And then you have your drive mode select. Basically, auto, snow, sand, mud, rock. So mostly off-road drive mode stuff. This does actually come with 4-wheel drive low, 4-wheel drive lock, and hill descent control, so it does have some off-road chops. Some cup holders right next to this. You can see with the center console setup. Nice trim there on the top. 2026 Compass, $35,390. Let's see how this Compass performs. Jeep Compass Trailhawk. Let's see how this goes. Now, this, I think, confuses some people. You know, they look at this and they go, oh, this is a dumb Jeep or this or that. You know what I mean? Not exactly positive about it. But what this actually is, what this actually provides, is basically Jeep's answer to Subaru. That's what this is. Subaru, right, you know, we all know, has gotten into the off-road segment, and you know, they sell their Super Wilderness packages sell well, but what is happening here? Anyways, as I was saying, they sell well, but they're not like real off-roaders, you know? They're kind of, you know, no low range, not crazy amounts of capability. They're more of like a soft roader package. Oh, it looks like there's an accident. That's too bad. Hopefully they're okay. Well, you can see the Jeep across the way. So there's a car back there. There's a Jeep on the sidewalk. What happened? I didn't hear anything either. Like, I was just sitting there filming, like, outside, just down the lane, and oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, hopefully everyone's okay. Finally getting up and moving in the Compass. Smooth. Definitely smooth. Yeah, the 8-speed's great. And again, the power figures in this don't sound like a lot, but you remember, again, when you look at this as a Subaru-sized crossover, it's like, oh, it's not too bad, because Subaru, you know, in like the Crosstrek and even in the Forester, NA 4-cylinders with sub 200 horsepower, and the Crosstrek's mid 100s. So it's a pretty big difference. I like these new Jeep interiors. They feel luxurious, but then also rugged at the same time. It's kind of like a nice mix. And, you know, now that I think about the pricing on this more, I'd say that I'd fully, even though this might be a little bit bigger than a Crosstrek in terms of the interior dimensions, I'd say it's Crosstrek competitor, because the Crosstrek Wilderness is like 37,000. So I think that's the most direct competitor. This has more horsepower, actually has a real transmission, and it has, again, the low range isn't like a Wrangler low range, you know, but it's better than not having a low range at all, like with the Subarus. Decently quick. Decently quick. Yeah, like not bad at all. So, and there's no acoustic glass or anything, but it's still decently insulated. It's just not as quiet as some of the more loaded up Jeeps that do have the acoustic glass now. Jeep Compass. I don't think I'm going to convince anyone to not buy a Subaru, because here's the deal. Subaru people are Subaru people. They won't, you know what I mean? They're not, it sounds bad to say, but it's just the truth. Like, they're not really comparing to other cars, and so they don't really care if another manufacturer actually makes a better car than the Subaru. They're still going to buy a Subaru because of the price point that a lot of them are at, and they just like the brand. They just like the brand. But if you look at things objectively, this is a better car than a Crosstrek, objectively. Not just off-road, but also on-road as well. The one thing I will give the Crosstrek is I think Subaru seats, generally speaking, just maybe a little bit more comfortable. Subaru does a good job with seat ergonomics. Power's not bad at all. But yeah, I think objectively this is just a better vehicle. It offers more. People talk about reliability, and it's like, well, true, just true. But Subaru, you know, those 4-cylinders, sometimes they can have some issues with head gaskets and everything still. From some people told me they fixed it, but then every single time someone tells me that a problem's been fixed with a car, I then have someone message me and be like, hey, this broke on my car, and it's like, oh, is it actually fixed, you know? Let me know your thoughts on the Compass, but I think that's the way to look at it, is as a Subaru competitor, and when you look at it that way, well, this just offers more.